In this step we will ask, where do you find Aedes aegypti larvae? The ancestors of Aedes aegypti almost certainly lived in sub-Saharan Africa. The larval habitat of these insects was likely natural containers such as tree holes, and adults would have fed primarily on wild animals. While this ancestral form still exists in forests and vegetated environments of Africa today, in most parts of the world Aedes aegypti is almost completely domestic, living in close association with humans. This domesticated Aedes aegypti arrived in the New World soon after the first Europeans. The ability of their eggs to survive desiccation and their larvae to resist starvation for several weeks at a time means that they could have travelled on trade ships sailing between Europe and the Americas. It is not known whether the domestication took place before or simultaneously with its introduction to the Americas, but the breeding habitats of the domestic form have been altered considerably. Today, larvae will commonly be found in artificial containers provided by humans. They will even breed indoors, and of course they have a preference for feeding on human blood. In the 1950s, concerns about the spread of yellow fever in Malaysia prompted regular surveying of airports and seaports. Surveys were also conducted in the urban areas. The most common habitats to find larvae in were tyres, buckets, flower pots, and other assorted pots, pans, cups and jugs, both indoors and outside. While the collections did not extend to more rural areas, it was clear that Aedes aegypti found artificial containers filled with small bodies of fresh water to be suitable for laying their eggs. It's likely that the female has found these places extremely convenient to deposit her eggs in, as these containers are frequent features in many households. A more recent survey of larval habitats in an urban area of Costa Rica with a history of mosquito control supports the earlier findings from Malaysia. Here again, tyres were most commonly found with larvae in, followed by gutters, drums, and other containers. In Ethiopia, 750 artificial containers were collected from an urban environment, and 54% had mosquito larvae in them. As with previous studies, larvae were found in a range of man-made habitats. The indoor and larger containers may provide a perennial water source for mosquitoes, while many outdoor containers, particularly where seasons are sharply defined, represent only temporary breeding sites. It is not known exactly how a female selects a site to lay her eggs, but it is understood that she uses cues of sight, smell, and touch, and will be influenced by different environmental factors such as temperature, rainfall, humidity, and wind speed. It's important to remember that Aedes do not look after their brood, so selection of a suitable breeding site is a vital part of the female's role in the life cycle. So finally, breeding habitat is one of the most critical factors for the survival and population dynamics of Aedes aegypti. The ability to breed in containers around human habitations is no doubt one of the factors contributing to the success of this species and has crucial implications for the control of Zika and other diseases.